Hello everyone, welcome to ACCA Advanced Performance Management webinar for exam attempt September 26. This is your instructor Rizwan Mani. I hope you are doing well. Kindly confirm, is my voice clear, audible to all of you? All right, thank you very much for the confirmation. So are you ready, excited, and ready to learn a lot of things in next 2 days? Great. So today's session is a very important one, as we'll be doing a lot of important things. We'll be discussing things. Plus, we'll continue the same momentum tomorrow. So these 2 days of webinar will be very useful for students in terms of drafting the answer, reading the requirement, breaking the requirement, learning how to answer in a proper way. All right? Okay, so let's start. About myself, my teaching experience, more than 18 years. The papers that I teach is PM, FM, APM. This is another webinar that I'm conducting from Wi-Fi's platform. This is my 23rd webinar from Wi-Fi's platform. Before, I've conducted for ACCA Pakistan around 6 webinars for them. The total position holders who took sessions with me in all these 3 papers crossed 64. And if I specifically talk about APM, so you can see it's a good big list of APM position holders. 44 plus position holders were part of my APM batch. And yes, you can be into the same list. You can be into the same category, provided you are giving paper for the first time and also you're following the entire plans. All right then. So how to remain connected with me during the webinar. So there is a chat box available here. I hope you can see this chat box. This chat box is a one through which you just confirm me about the voice and everything. You can ask questions through this chat box. Number 2, be part of our global WhatsApp community, the APM community I'm talking about. Do join the latest APM groups. The team has just shared the link in the chat box. So be part of this APM global community so that you get all the learning materials that I'll be using this time in the webinar, all the free resources, the drafted answers, plus whatever guidance I will be giving you guys till the end before the examination, including revisions and everything. You will be part of those. So make sure you join the WhatsApp group and be part of the WhatsApp group. Those who will watch these sessions in form of recordings later on, so how they can get the group, so they can contact the admission department at this number, and the admission team will provide you the group links, or you can contact me as well at my number for any help and assistance. Other than any help and assistance, you can contact me plus for the group link if you need. So this is my number. You can note down, just save it for all important updates. All right then. June 26 results for Wi-Fi were fantastic for APM. Students from all around the world, from different places, were part of my session. You can see a list. You can see list of students who managed to pass APM in June 26 results. Moving towards another slide for this list, you can see huge number of students passed in the last attempt. It was a very fantastic result as far as Wi-Fi was concerned, and it's so delightful to see that students were successful. They passed the exam. So I expect much more better result from you people this time. So again, just keep the positivity with you, with full energy. Just give your best. Okay. Now, this has been a very important discussion always, since the changes were applicable for September 26 till June 27 attempt. So I just want to give you a quick clarity in relation to the changes in APM. Okay, so changes to APM. First of all, the mm, first change was in the structure. The names have been changed. There were 4 sections previously as well, but they have renamed those sections, with first being strategic management and value creation, followed by performance optimization, followed by performance reporting, and data science and technology for performance and insight. Okay. So the names of the structures have changed. First thing. Number two, now this you can call as section A, this is section B, this is section C, and this is section D. Okay, A, B, C, D. Now, topics that have the major ones I'm talking about, the most obvious changes are there have been deletions to the previous areas, like BCG matrix is not anymore part of the syllabus. Porter's 5 forces, not part of the syllabus anymore. IRR, MIRR, McKinsey 7S model, and transfer pricing are the obvious deletions from APM syllabus. Things that have been added are TSR, the concept of total shareholder return, net promoter score, service level agreements, and environmental cost categories. So, definitely, my APM portal has been updated as well, with new areas I have added into my portal with some new good recordings for it. The deleted areas have been removed forever now. So these are the changes that were made, the obvious changes that were made in ACCA APM exam. Yes, there were some paper structure based changes as well that I want to let you guys know about it. So first, again, the section A remains same. Section A of the paper I'm talking about, which will have a 50-mark question. 40 marks, again, are the technical one, 10 are the professional marks. And the professional skills, all 4 professional skills, communication, analysis, evaluation, skepticism, and commercial acumen will be tested in section A 50-mark question. One thing which is important to note down is section A question, that is of 50 marks, will come from syllabus area A and B. A and B. So if I just go back to this slide, this means 50-mark question basically will come from these 2 sections. Okay, so the topics that are part of these 2 sections, you can expect a 50-mark question coming up from these 2. Okay. your your content in the study hub is also structured in such a way that it's first A section topics that are coming there, then it's B section topic, then C section topic, and D section topic are coming in the study hub. Okay. Now, when it comes to section B of the exam, so 2 compulsory questions remains the same, having again 25 marks weightage each. Same 20 are the technical marks in this, and 5 are the professional marks. Minimum 2 professional skills will be tested, but there will be no communication skill that will come in section B. So out of the remaining 3, 2 minimum can come, and even 3 as well, but no communication skill. Now, an obvious change is again in section B paper structure, like one question will come from area C, that is performance reporting, which previously was a very hot area for examiner, and lot of performance reporting questions were tested in section A earlier, but now they will ask one question of performance reporting, and that will come from area C, and one question will come from area D, which is data science technology for performance and insight, which means you can expect one question of 25 mark coming from performance reporting and one question of 25 mark coming from data science and technology. So in additions that I've done on the portal, which will be applicable for all regular reset and even the revision students who will join now, you will see the new areas under these sections that have been added are part of the portal, because there has been a very massive emphasis on this now for one question, and one question coming from data science and technology, performance insight. So this means you need to be very much up to the mark and ready for this. And 50 mark will come from these two areas, A and B. Okay. So I hope this is clear. And all the additional topics are covered if you are part of my batch. So these were the changes I wanted to highlight in front of you. Professional 20 marks overall remains the same, with a breakup of 10 going towards section A and 10 section B. So it includes same communication skills, which includes the report format, the jargons used, the headings, subheadings, and how effectively your communication is. Moving towards analysis and evaluation, which again emphasize on using data, if there is any, analyze the data and come towards some sort of conclusions if you want to, if the data is helpful for that purpose. On top of it, the evaluation is again looking at both the sides of the subject matter, positive, negatives, and then based on that, you will be concluding towards it. Like, this is what you have to cover here. Third is skepticism. You need to have a questioning attitude, not required everywhere in APM questions, but sometimes you need to challenge the statements of the company's directors, managers. I don't know if somebody has presented any information in the scenario. Plus, you cannot rely on every information that is available. You need to test, you need to raise questions, you need to be skeptical whether this is correct or not. So you need to demonstrate your skills of questioning attitude sometimes in the question, followed by a very key skill of commercial acumen, which is very important for a person like you who is appearing for APM, because you cannot simply just advise without the context. You cannot recommend without the context. You cannot give any suggestion without the context. Whatever you will advise, recommend, suggest should be practically possible for the company, should be plausible, achievable, practical, and you should not just focus on internal aspects of the organization. You should not focus on internal situation. You need to also focus on external situation. External factors need also be considered when you are advising, recommending, or suggesting. But it is very important that it should be according to the business situation in mention the scenario. All right then. So I hope the changes part is clear now. The major difference between the paper PM and APM, as I always explain you, that you have to really step up now. The techniques that you have covered at PM level, you cannot expect them to come exactly in the same way. You need to step up. You need to be more like a business consultant here. Okay. So I always recommend everyone, because you are a consultant here, you are a business consultant here. So whenever you read the exam scenario, read the situation, reading the question should be done like a consultant. When you are thinking what to write, in that case also you need to be think like a consultant. Your writing, your language should be again like a consultant. And as I always say, that on the day of examination. When you're going for exam, dress like a consultant so that automatically your entire system do accept that yes, you are a consultant and going in the paper to deal with three clients. One is a very high weighted client of 50 marks and two 25 marks each clients. So guys, you are a business consultant. Business consultant, that mindset is important. Whatever you will write, whatever you will suggest, recommend, evaluate, you have to make sure that you are adding value, adding value, adding value for your organization. All right? Okay, great. Now, smart techniques to pass the exam. As I always emphasize a lot, there are easy numbers available in the examination. You have to make sure you are able to grab it, find out the easy marks, easy numbers. Uh, Maybe one requirement, two requirement in every question will be one that will be more manageable for you. See, complete 100 marks are not difficult. You cannot expect complete 100 marks to be massively difficult. No, it's not that. Examiner uh, do end up making a balanced paper because they also know that everything, if they will ask in the paper is difficult, people definitely will struggle. So they do keep some loopholes. Deliberately, they do keep some easy numbers. You should have that skill, mindset, and eyes to find those easy marks. Okay, just one basic example of Section A report. The format is something you can ensure is should be according to the standard. You can grab easy numbers. For example, okay, this is one example. Number three is professional skills. Always, for me, is one area where you can definitely score uh, some easy numbers because these professional skills marks are totally dependent on your technical answer, the way you are presenting the answer. So, if your technical answer, the way you have presented the answer, is in the correct way, you did answer according to the requirement. And in your answering, you did ensured analysis, evaluation, skill, skepticism wherever was required. You did demonstrate that, and commercial acumen. So 80 plus 20, 20 will be your easy free marks. But again, to grab these 20 marks, you need to make sure that you do answer complete 80 marks because otherwise you will not be able to grab it. Okay. Then comes the smart paper solving technique video. So I will recommend all of you to go to Wifi's YouTube channel. This is the link as well. Just try and watch this video, which also will give you some sort of clarity that how you should target minimum 50 marks first, the easy 50 marks first, because see, if exam is of 100 marks, to pass you need 50. So our first target, your first aim will be to grab 50 marks, and that too through some easy way. Okay, and then you can again obviously try to grab more marks. You can target the difficult areas. I'm not saying you leave the exam, you have to complete the paper, but let's make passing a bit more easier. So if I feel certain areas in which I'm already good at, certain questions relates to areas that I'm super confident about it, I'll start with those first in order to grab the numbers. Very important is read the Marker's Mind video because it's all about writing in the paper of APM. So you need to understand what mindset examiner wants you to follow, the marking scheme, which points they will give you marks for, which points they will not give you marks for. So these are four very important videos by the name of Read the Marker's Mind. Do watch these videos because these will cover 50-mark question and will also cover 25-mark question. And the more important thing, after watching the videos, you will understand, realize, accept, observe that you can do it. Any normal student can easily pass the paper. Any normal student can easily ensure that you're writing in the right direction. The most important thing for all of you is that you need to understand how to score the marks. See, the exam answers that you read, the official answers that you read are very high level answers. One cannot achieve the same level in the examination. Okay, so you do not have to be so much worried about it. If you are always comparing your answer with the exam official answer, that always is well written, well thought answer, because they are not answering this in the exam as well. They do plan it earlier, what should be the answer. So that is a good benchmark, that is a good guide for you, not even a benchmark, to be honest, good guide for you. It also provides you extra information, but any student appearing in the paper with a reasonable answer can pass very easily without being worried that my answer is not even close to the exam answer. So these my exam performance, these read the markers mind video will, I think, will give you people the confidence, and people who are weak will say no, we can do it now. Okay, so do watch it. Then there is a $1 million theory drafting article that you guys should read. This is my own article, which is available on the free Google Drive of Wi-Fi. Just read it for further clarity. It's also part of the portal as well for those paid students. So this article is good in terms of how to grab technical marks, what is the marking scheme, what valid point means, what is a developing point, and what we need to write in order to grab professional marks. So please do read this article. Very, very, very important, because it gives you clarity. Okay, this is how I have to write the answer. Okay, done. Now, the scope of Game Changer webinar always remains on revising the topics, the key topics, especially the topics that are tested in the question. So this time around, we'll be targeting the latest exam questions. When I say latest exam questions, which means March, June 26 questions that has been published by ACCA. So we will be solving all those questions. We'll be targeting all those questions in these days, plus drafting part, marking scheme, professional marks, all will be discussed in these webinars so that you exactly get to understand how drafting needs to be done. All right, webinar day-wise plan. Day 1 is free today. Day 2 is also free tomorrow. So these 2 days will be targeting maximum number of questions of March, June 26 attempt. Then the live revision will start in our revision batch, which is a paid batch. So the live revision will start after these 2 days, and I'll just share the planner what live revision will consist of. So this will be part of our September revision camp. September revision camp has just started from yesterday. Students who are not part of my regular batch, not part of the reset batch, they are doing self-study. My strong recommendation suggestion is for APM, please, please, please. I'm not saying it's impossible. It is possible, but it gets difficult. So please make sure you join the revision camp if you are a self-study student, because this revision camp will give you access to top 20 to top 25 exam topics. Not only the topics, but also the past paper practice of these areas that are relevant for September 26 attempt. So this is part of this batch. Plus, there will be around, I can say, 15 hours of live sessions that will be held as well with you guys, which includes the practice sessions, pre-mocks, live mocks, mock debriefs, all will be part of the revision camp, other than the recorded content of top 20-25 areas. Okay, this will not end. Your mock will be marked and will be given will be given to you. Your feedback will be given to you. So the mock, actually one mock is a one that will conduct live. It will be marked and will give you the feedback. Okay. So 15 hours of live practice interaction is what is part of this revision camp, and mock facility as well. In fact, there are two mocks. One is the complimentary mock with a complimentary debrief, and first is a live mock with a live debrief and marking facility for that as well. So any self-study student or students who are struggling to pass APM, students whose score is around 45 to 49 or maybe 40 till 49, they can choose this batch. But if you're already part of my revision reset batch, then those students do not have to worry at all about it, because things are already covered for them. One important announcement, that in this revision camp, definitely those who will join my revision camp, all the latest topic recordings will now be available. The additions will be available separately. So all the students who are doing self-study, who did appear last time, or who are preparing, never appeared for the exam, let me tell them that new addition topics are already part of this revision camp as well. So join and just update your knowledge as well. All right. So you can simply go to our website www.wifi.com. Just select the codes, get into the batch. Everything is properly automated. Otherwise, if you're not comfortable or you are struggling, you have any problem, so you can contact the admission department at this below number, and they will help you, and also they'll route you towards the website for the payment purpose. Okay. So the revision batch has started yesterday. Yesterday, all of you can definitely enroll. Now, there is a planner as well that we'll be giving to the students, the revision students. Even regular can follow this plan as well. So according to this plan, okay, according to this plan, if you see here, you once you enroll in the revision batch, you will have the access to the recorded content that is available on our LMS from the day you join. And we recommend you to complete this by 21st of August, which means the sooner you enroll, the better it is for you, because 22nd will be having a mock. 22nd will be having our live mock. So we want you to cover your recorded content for top 20-25 areas. One thing let me tell you here is you can target your weaker areas first. Any area you feel like you are not good at, you can watch the recordings of those areas first, practice question of those areas first, and then come to the area in which you feel you are good at. This will ensure good optimization for your time. Other than that, the live webinars today, tomorrow, after day after tomorrow, which is Saturday, Sunday, you guys should watch June 26 webinars, because 4 days of webinars will, set up the game for you. These 2 days and the 2 days June 26 recorded webinars will give you a good recap, and especially you will learn a lot about drafting the answer. Then on 10th of August, that is Monday, we'll be having our live practice class for the revision students. In fact, regular reset will be part of it, but this will be a live official paid class, which is not free, because webinars are free. Anybody can attend the webinars, but these live practice sessions are not free. So only paid student will have a live session on 10th of August, followed by a pre-mock on 11th of August, followed by a pre-mock debrief on 13th of August. Okay. So these are the next 3 classes coming up in the next week, other than the webinars. These sessions will give you a lot more clarity and confidence as well. So do remember the 4 days of webinars from today till Sunday you have to watch. Monday you have a session, Tuesday you have a pre-mock live, and then Thursday you have Okay, and then Thursday. Yeah, it's Thursday. Yeah, Thursday you have your. I think the date is given here. The date is 13th August. Sorry. Yeah, 13th August. You have your APM debrief of the first pre-mock. Okay. Then uh, we will have an extensive grand revision session live on the 21st of August. 22 we have a live final mock, and 28th we have a debrief of that particular mock. The results will be shared with you guys on 20th of August. Then complimentary mock will be given to you on 29th of August with the recorded debrief as well. And after that, you'll have 1 week's time. After that, you'll have 1 week time to further practice, to further make things more stronger, because your exams now are not in the first week of September. That's a very good news. You have been given some extra days, extra hours, extra minutes, extra second, extra time. So just make sure you take best out of it and try to pass the exam. So this is the planner for the revision student. Regular students may also follow this plan if required. To join the revision camp, I already mentioned earlier, you can contact the team, or you go to website, or you WhatsApp the team at this number. All right. So yes, last time I'm confirming the new topics that have been added to APM. All I've covered in the portal this time. The revision batch will also include all the new recordings of new topics. Okay, done. Today's plan is about economic value added, EVA, very famous, and a 50-mark question that we'll be doing. The first discussion will be in relation to economic value added, and then we'll be moving towards a 50-mark question. Okay. Now, guys, EVA, what is economic value added? Economic value added is a measure which is used mainly when you are interested in knowing shareholders' wealth maximization. Okay, wealth maximization. Now, it is very similar to RI. So, this is also an absolute measure. But the difference is that this measure, economic value added, considers the cost of capital, or I must say weighted average cost of capital. So economic value added results are so useful that I can say NPV, net present value, that we work out for a project for 5 years, for example. So for the same project, if I work out EVA for the 5 years, both should be close to each other or maybe same as well, which means it is very consistent with NPV. NPV also considers the cost of capital coverage. Similarly, EVA also considers the cost of capital coverage. So this is something good about economic value added. Now, how to work out EVA? So you need to make adjustments. Your profit will be changed. Similarly, your capital employed also changes. So profit, the accounting profit that we used to use previously will not be used here. We need to convert this accounting profit into economic profit. So there are adjustments that we need to do. You guys should know there are so many adjustments. We need to adjust the depreciation, the amortizations. We need to adjust any R&D expenses. For example, some advertisement, in fact, done. We need to adjust these. So once you convert your accounting profits into economic profits, it is where EVA first part is done. Then similarly, the capital employed part is what you should be, you should be covering. Like you need to convert the accounting capital employed to economic capital employed as per the EVA principle. So the conversions from accounting to economic is done primarily for two major things. Number one, to move from accrual to cash accounting. Now, traditional, if you see, the traditional accounting that we do is an accrual based accounting, which means you are using an asset or you are using something and you will pay for that at the end of the month. So the first purpose is that now you need to move from accrual to cash accounting. Accrual to cash accounting. That's why we go with EVA, because EVA is more closer to cash. Number two, you are now required to consider the market building items, which means items like research, items like marketing expenditure, advertising expenditure. These are your expenses. Traditionally, we used to consider these expenses, but according to EVA, because these all are helping to create the brand image, because this advertisement is ultimately improving the company's position in eye of the customers. So these should be capitalized. These should be treated as assets, and we should charge only the economic depreciation or amortization to these items. Okay. So I hope this is clear to all of you, and nothing else as such is required. So the adjustment is made so that you move from accrual to cash accounting and also capitalize market building items. So two things: once you work out profit, which is known as economic profit, capital employed, which is known as economic capital employed, then you can easily work out the EVA by implementing a charge, by considering a charge on the capital, by charging capital with 10%, 15%, 20% cost of capital, to be able to ensure that this division is covering the basic cost of the investor, and on top of it, whatever extra answer you get is the amount by which shareholder wealth is increasing. Shareholder wealth is increasing. Okay. So if EV answer is positive, it is creating wealth for the shareholder. If EV answer is negative, it is destroying the wealth of shareholder. Are you with me, everyone? Say yes or no. Now, one more important question. If EVA of year 1 is 20 and EVA of year 2 is 5, for example, so do you think value has been created or destroyed from 15 positive? Let's make it 15 positive to 5 positive. Okay. Value has not been destroyed. Going from 15 to 5 doesn't mean the value has been destroyed. This is wrong. EVA answer is positive even by 1, even by 0.1. The value is created. Okay. But yes, we can say this as it was created by 15 last year, this time it has created, but with a lower amount. So the intensity has gone down, but it is not destroyed. Destroyed will only be the case when the answer goes in negative, when your cost of capital is not being covered by the economic profit. Okay. So this is a value creation case, but the amount by which it was created last time, that is what is not, you can see here. So I hope perfectly fine. This was about EVA. EVA is definitely a substitute of cash flow. I'm not saying it's a pure cash flow, but it's a substitute to cash flow. EVA is consistent with NPV in long run if it is a 5 years project. So 5 years NPV you work out, 5 years EVA if you work out. So you will see that EVA will be consistent with the NPV answer. Yes, it is closer to cash. This is what shareholders like a lot. But there are problems with EVA as well as disadvantages, that you need to make adjustments into economic profits and economic capital employed. That may be complicated. You need to explain, train the people as well for the EVA usage or implementing EVA in the system. On top of it, EVA again has a major problem of uh, major problem of uh, being absolute measure, which means on the basis of EVA, you cannot compare two different size divisions. You cannot compare two different size divisions because these are absolute numbers, and absolute doesn't facilitate like with like comparison. Okay. Now, this was all about economic value added. Guys, everyone, are you with me? Say yes or no. It's now time to move towards the first question and some techniques and tips and tricks that we'll be using to solve this latest exam question. So, the basic guideline is you need to read the general requirements, copy paste on the answer sheet. Number two, you need to read the question, find hidden verbs and objects, copy paste on the answer sheet. You can choose any approach, like you need to read the entire scenario in one go, or you can even read exhibit by exhibit or solve exhibit by exhibit. One requirement, go to its exhibit, solve it. Second requirement, go to its exhibit, solve it. Okay, this is what you can do. Step 3, plan pointers as you proceed if it is possible. Your planning is very important. The well-planned answer, you have in your mind what you have to write. A 2 minutes planning can save your 15-20 minutes of pressure exam time. Okay, so when you plan, you need to look at the verbs, the objects, and you need to decode the requirement. You need to decode the requirement. So I'll be discussing certain hacks with you people, how to decode the requirement. I will teach you how to decode the requirement. I will teach you how to come up with a crack code for the requirement. And for that, we will come up to some sort of a cheat code, and this cheat code will crack the answer for us. So this is at step 3, where you're planning. You will try to find out the cheat code of the answer. Cheat code of the answer. Last, write the answer. Again, make sure whatever you're writing, you write like a consultant. So I hope these are clear to all of you. It's now time to move towards the first question. All right. So here we are at the question. It's a March-June 26 attempt question. You can see the details mentioned on one side of the screen, where you have company information in your first exhibit, new entrants, threat of new entrants to Wise market. Now, you guys might be wondering here, this is a new entrant related information, and this is threat of new entrants, which is clearly something you can come up with. Which model are we talking about here, please? Porter's 546, exactly. So Porter's is not part of the syllabus anymore. So for that purpose, I will skip this exhibit 2, because this is the latest exam question. We need to solve it. It's a March-June exam question. Now Porter's is not part of the syllabus, so we'll skip this exhibit completely. We will not read it and will not solve this part. However, the next relates to the introduction of EVA, employee response to EVA. All these exhibits we will basically consider while answering this along with Appendix 1. Okay, so this is the question, everyone. Ready? Yes or no? All right, great. So let's begin using the $1 million technique to handle this question. First, you will open your word processor as always. Fix this out a bit according to your screen size. make proper adjustments, whatever you want to. Okay. Now, as per the steps that we saw, the $1,000,000 ones, which is about read the general requirements, copy paste on answer sheet. Okay. So the requirement section, I'll copy the entire stuff from here, close it, we'll come here, we'll paste here. Done. Now, along with this, what I can do to grab some easy numbers is I can structure a report format because I know it's a section A question, and report is what I need to write. Okay. So what can I do is I can structure a basic report format to, it is very clearly written here, sales and marketing director from, most likely it's the management accountant. Okay. Okay. Then date, it's mentioned here. Correct. Subject, we'll look this at a later stage. Intro paragraph, we'll consider this as all this also at the next stage. We'll remove all these things, and here comes the main body of the report. So new entrants, 6 marks, we are not discussing purposefully because not part of the syllabus anymore. So let's remove it for now. And let's assume that this is the only requirements we have to solve. Okay. So this is a 19-mark requirement. And this is a 15-mark requirement followed by 10 marks for the professional side. Done. So step number 1 will give me some numbers, tiny marks, under the heading of communication, professional skill, communication. Okay. This is skill. Done. What's next? Now let's read the question. Find hidden verbs and objects. Copy paste on answer sheet. Choose approach. Either you can go with exhibit wise approach or read the whole scenario. Now, see, to be very honest, if you look here, introduction of EVA, so you can see exhibit 3, introduction of EVA. It is so well aligned. It is so well aligned that you can easily handle a question exhibit by exhibit approach as well. Second, employee response to EVA, employee response to EVA. The first exhibit is a general one that you read, and the rest you can easily work on in a simple way that you can use exhibit-wise approach to handle it. Okay? But just in case you're not very confident about it, so it's up to you. You can read the whole scenario in one go, and also you can approach the answer after that. Okay? So step 2 is to read. Now what I'll do here, I will go exhibit by exhibit here. So the general exhibit is what I'll first read, company information. Then I will come to introduction of EVA, this exhibit, and I'll start my answer right after that. So let's begin. The first 1.5, 2 lines will give you idea about the nature of the business. Try to find out what work they do. The first thing. The second thing, once you understand what is their nature of business, then think of a similar company in your country, wherever you live, or what comes to your mind in your knowledge, any similar company doing same work. This will help you in your professional skills of commercial acumen. Okay, that will make you more practical and relevant. Why is a listed company which manufacture and sells gloves in Zland? So first of all, it's a manufacturing company for sure. Okay, and they make and sell gloves. I don't know whether you are able to recall any company that does it. Any gloves manufacturing company, please, in the chat box. Anyone? H&M, Adidas, yeah, but I think it's a pure gloves manufacturer company. Okay, done. Most companies in this market, including Y, sell a wide range of different types of gloves to cater for all ages and tastes. So it's a proper, pure gloves manufacturing company. Zland is a cold country, I can expect, because they manufacture gloves. And the market for gloves is competitive. Companies operating in this market can gain an advantage by developing and maintaining a strong brand name. So the companies in the market will enjoy advantage by developing and maintaining strong brand name. So strong brand name is key here. Okay, brand name is key here. The company's overall objective, let's highlight it every time: maximize shareholder wealth, which it aspires to do through high quality gloves at a low cost. What a combination! What a combo, my man! High quality gloves at low cost. And by ensuring customer satisfaction. Very nice. This is the whole objective. The Zland's government recently took a decision to relax the trading regulations for foreign companies operating in Zland. Very nice. Relax trading regulations. This has led to increased competition for Y, as several foreign companies have set up operations in Zland. So it's a very competitive environment, to be very honest. And foreign companies or multinationals are also coming here. Done. Introduction of EVA. Just open your eyes and ears. This is the exhibit that we are targeting first, because this relates to the first requirement. The sales marketing director has also indicated to you that she is unhappy with the way performance is being assessed at Y. She is particularly concerned with the board's insistence upon gross profit as a performance metric, key performance metric. Okay? Sales and marketing director is saying that the board is too much focusing on gross profit as a key performance metric, which means gross profit is what they want healthier, right? She is also keen to ensure that board understands. She is also keen to ensure that board understands the importance of marketing expenditure in creating brand identity, which means it seems like the board is not very convinced over marketing expenditure, maybe. Okay, maybe they consider this as an expense, right? Her view is that currently the board views marketing expenditure as a cost, which normally everybody does, which should be saved where possible. So they want cost cutting. Whenever they say cost cutting, come on, brother marketing, thak, slap. Come on, brother marketing, thak, slap. Go away. So they kill marketing, it seems like. She has heard EVA and thought it would be a good metric to use for a company with many tangible assets such as Y company. It's a manufacturing company, okay? She has supplied information which she feels is required to calculate EVA for the period 20x4 and 5 in Appendix 1. The SMD would like you to undertake 2 pieces of work. Are you ready? Ready. Calculate the EVA for the period 20x4 and 5 and comment on the results. Number 2, justify why EVA is a performance metric which is more aligned with shareholder wealth than traditional profit-based measures. Let's copy this and let's copy this and paste here. What is happening, man? Okay. Now, this is my verb, which you know I always break into verbs and objects. Verb tells me the action that I have to perform. Object clarifies me on what the object has to be performed. So here, and is additional requirement sign. So there is another verb comment and the object for that is results. This work is for the first part of the work is for 8 marks. So this is all what you'll be doing for 8 marks, right? Then the second, 11 marks. I beg your pardon, 11 marks. Okay. And then the second area is for 8 marks where I have to justify the object EVA is a performance metric which is more aligned compared to traditional profit-based measure like gross profit. Okay. So the second part is for 8 marks. The first part was for 11 marks. Okay. I think this is the exhibit. I think this is the requirement. I think it's the right time now to start the solution. Yes, going back to the tips area, the techniques, the $1 million plan pointers as you proceed. This is where I will tell you a hack. This is where I will tell you how to decode the requirement. This is where I'll tell you how to come up with the cheat code for the answer. This is the key point, step 3. Okay. Now, because my first target is comparatively a very easier target, which is to calculate, because whenever I plan the requirement, I will look at the verbs. I know a good cheat code. Whenever you want to set a good cheat code, you need to look at the verbs. You will need to look at the objects. You need to look at the marks. Okay. And you need to think if there are any headings possible for cheat code. And then once all done, then considering the verb and object, you set up your cheat code. Okay. You set up your cheat code. So here it's first to calculate. So I think it's simple. Verb is calculate. No cheat code required as such. The second is comment on the results. Again, that's very simple. So here I do not have to open my programming mode of developing the cheat code. It's simple. I'll open up my spreadsheet. I'm lucky. You are lucky. Everyone is lucky who is able to grab easy numbers using calculations. This is the appendix that is available to you people. Okay. Information supplied for EVA. We have 20x5 results. Okay. Revenue, cost of sale, GP, operating profit, operating cost, interest expense, profit before income taxes, income tax expense, capital employed at the start of the year, operating costs figures, depreciation, advertisement, research and development, economic depreciation for 20x5 in previous year's economic and accounting were same, cost of capital, gearing, both advertising expenditure and R&D are long-term in nature. Okay. There was no separate recording of advertising expenditure or R&D expenditure before 20x4. Correct? Done. So now for EVA, there are two approaches that one can use in the paper. You know it, right? Two approaches. One, either you can start with operating profit or you can start with profit after tax. Okay. So whatever suits you, it's up to you. Both approaches does have a minor small change. The rest is all same. You can come up to the same answer without any issues. So I'll start with profit after tax. PAT. Okay. Now profit after tax. What is profit after tax? Profit for the period. 783. Okay. 783. Okay. In this, I have to add back certain items like accounting, depreciation, okay. This is what I will add back. Accounting depreciation. So how much is that? Here it is. Operating cost figure includes 500. 500. Okay. Okay. Then advertising. Yes, it's a market building item. Amounting to 320. The current year, right? the current year, 320. Here it is. Then R&D. R&D cost of 50. So guys, depreciation, advertisement, R&D. Now depreciation is why I added back, because it's a accounting based depreciation, accrual based depreciation. So instead of this, I will deduct economic depreciation that is given to me for 20x5 here. Okay. Whereas advertisement and research and development, I added because these two are my market building items. Advertisement will create brand identity. R&D will also help to build business. Okay. So I've added them back. Done. Okay. What else we do add back? We need to add back interest cost net of tax. Now, why do we add back interest? Is because interest will already be incorporated through weighted average cost of capital. Weighted average cost of capital. Done? Done. So, do we have the interest cost here? 221. And the tax rate is 22%. So, I have to add it back net of tax. Done. So it's how much, my friends? 221. 221. 221. Net of tax. 1 minus 0.22. I have to add it back net of tax. Are you all with me? Say yes or no. Everyone. I'm sure this is the interest cost, if I'm not wrong. Sorry, it's, oh, I beg your pardon. It was tax what I looked at. Interest is 151. Sorry. The tax rate is 22. 151. Yeah. So interest is 151. Net of tax I have to add back. So I will make this after tax. Okay? Clear? Done. Now, from profit after tax to net operating profit after tax, I want to reach at. So anything that I want to deduct here, yes, less economic depreciation. Economic depreciation. Okay? Done? So how much is the economic depreciation? It's, I think it's given here 358 minus 358. Okay? So guys, let's work out. Profit after tax, add back depreciation, advertisement, R&D, interest net of tax. Deduct economic depreciation. Deduct economic depreciation. And the answer is 1412.8. 1412.8. Okay, very simple. This is the NOPAT answer I have. Interest net of tax is very simple. 151 is the interest cost. Debt of tax means after tax interest cost I needed to work out. So it was 22% given in the question. 1 minus 22% is simple. 78% of 151 I took here. That's it. Alas. Okay, everyone? Okay, done. Now, after this, it's the capital side that we are targeting. So I will start from accounting capital employed, and which figure should I target first here? So I have start of the year figures of capital employed, start of the year figure. So this is the start of the year for 20x5, and this is start of the year figure of 20x4. So what we take? We take start of the year figures? Yes. So toward 20x5, start of the year is 5,800. Done. Start of 20x5. This is the figure of start of 20x5, which means we are calculating EVA for 20x5. So now this figure is the start figure. So all that has happened during the year, all that has happened during 20x5 is what we will not add back in balance sheet, is something we'll not add in balance sheet. Okay. So what we'll add back, because it's start of 20x5, so all the market building items or any other thing we will add back that pertains to previous years. That is 20x4, 20x3, 20x2, blah, 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 blah. Okay? Correct, everyone? How can you take it? You don't have any years given, no information. This is the first year for R&D as well, because it is mentioned that prior to this, there was nothing R&D done before. See, no separate recording of advertisement as well. Before 20x4, okay? Before. So you just have 1 year's data of 20x4 and 20x5 with no policy mentioned about it as well. Okay? So you cannot do like this. Now, yes. So now I have only 1 year's figure, that is 20x4 is what I'll add back. 250 and 60 of R&D and advertisement. Now, those who are thinking, what about depreciation of 20x4? I would have added back the depreciation of 20x4, but only in one case, when the accounting depreciation and economic depreciation in prior years would have been different. So it is mentioned in previous years prior to 20x5. In previous years, both were same. So no need to add them back. So the only two things that qualify to be added back pertaining to year 20x4 are advertising expenditure of 250 and R&D of 60. Khalas. Because this is opening of 20x5 and this is of 20x4. This is of 20x4. This is also 20x4. So now I have economic capital employed. Are you with me, everyone? Say yes or no. Done. Khalas. With me? Nice. Now, I have two things. Economic capital employed, no PAT, interest calculation. If you want me to give you a recap, the interest figure was 151 given in the P&L. The tax rate was 22% given in the P&L. So interest net of tax is simple. Interest cost after tax. After tax means 1 minus tax rate. 1 minus tax rate. 1 minus tax rate. Okay. So this will make you interest after tax. Done. So a quick recap. I started with profit after tax given in the P&L. I added back 20x5 20x5 accounting depreciation, advertisement, R&D, interest net of tax, deducted 20x5 economic depreciation. So I will get profit after tax, net operating profit after tax for 20x5 P&L figure. For balance sheet, because it's start of the year of 20x5, so all what has been part of the previous years, like advertisement, like R&D, I added them back. As for accounting depreciation of 20x4 was not added back because economic and accounting was same. Okay. Now, if you are asking me how I got the opening capital employed, please, you need to concentrate. It's too dumb question, to be honest. This is given in the question. You need to concentrate here, please. Because things that are simple, straightforward part of the question, I cannot spend too much time on this. Okay, done. So, you need to concentrate, please. Now, moving towards WACC. The calculation of WACC is simple. Cost of equity, cost of debt. If you see here, 14%, and portion of equity is 70. Debt is 30%. Cost of debt is 8, but this is pre-tax. You have to make this after tax, okay? Post-tax, you have to make it. So, equity 0.7 into 0.14, debt 0.3 into 0.08, but this 0.08, but this is what you will multiply 1 minus tax. 1 minus tax, okay? So it's portion of debt into cost of debt 1 minus tax. Clear, everyone? Done? So if you add them together, you will get WACC of 11.67. 11.67 will be your WACC. And now let's move towards the answer of EVA. Okay. So you can see the calculation here. No PAT minus capital employed into WACC. Are we clear, everyone? Okay. So this is the answer of EVA. EVA. This is the answer of EVA. And the best part is this requirement was for how many marks? This was for 11 marks. Yeah. So 11 marks are available for the first part. Okay. And all these 11 marks are calculation marks. All these 11 marks are calculation marks. So this is what I always say, easy numbers. All 11 marks are calculation marks for you. Clear? Come on, wake up. See, so simple it is. Where are you guys? Okay? Done? Done, man. Done. Done, 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 done. Done, 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 done. Clear? Happy? So this is the calculation that we have done here in front of you. This is the EVA of 699.62. This is the EVA answer, everyone. I hope this is clear. 11 marks peanuts, 11 marks walnuts, 11 marks cashews. I know. Okay. So simple it was. Now, what comment are you gonna give here? Very simple, man. Very simple comment. Very simple comment. Refer to spreadsheet for calculations. Okay. Comment. EVA for Y company is positive by 699.62, clearly indicating that the shareholder wealth has been created for the period 20x4 to 20x5. Okay? Halas. Done. 11 marks in your pocket. Enjoy. Nothing else. Understood? For me, these are easy numbers. These are easy numbers. Okay? Done. So I hope the calcs are clear to all of you. This was the NOPAT answer. Minus capital employed into WACC. And this is the answer. Khalas. Next requirement for 8 marks. Okay. What is the next requirement for 8 marks? This requirement is YEVA. YEVA is a performance metric which is more aligned with shareholder wealth. Okay? Which is aligned with shareholder wealth. So for this, first of all, we all know this is an 8-mark requirement. Now, how to plan and how to decode this requirement? I know the verb is to justify. Justify a strong action. You have to justify it. Okay? And what is the object? Why EVA is better aligned with shareholder wealth? You have to justify it. So the verb is justify, object is performance metric EVA. Why performance metric EVA is well aligned. Marks are 8. Marks are 8. Okay, marks are 8. So my friends, how to decode this requirement? What is the plan? The plan is simple. I'll think that I have to come up with solid points to prove that EVA is well linked with shareholder wealth. It's an 8-mark requirement, which means 8 valid points. 8 valid points. This is a plan I'm making in my mind. 8 valid points justifying EVA measure better for shareholder value than traditional profits. So the cheat code is what? 8 valid points to justify EVA a better measure than profit based. Now, why I am calling this a cheat code? Why? Is because I want you to have a clear-cut clarity in the mind. What are you doing exactly? This is setting your direction for the answer. This cheat code is setting the direction for the answer. Okay? Direction for the answer, considering verbs and objects. It's just a confirmation in your mind. Oh, this is what I'm about to do. Okay, I'm fine. I'm happy with it. Are you with me? You are talking to yourself, and you are making a sentence, a program, a cheat code that whatever I'll write will be a justification for EVA as a better measure for shareholder. Come on. Understood what I'm trying to explain here? Say yes or no. Come on. Is the cheat code idea working well? Come on, here I need feedbacks. Feedbacks emoji based. It's an emoji world. The screen should be filled with emojis. I like thumbs up, hearts, that cone, celebration cone, sort of a thing. Anyway, so let's come up then. You know EVA is a better major. You have to express it now. Express it. Okay? Done. Let's start then. Economic value added economic value added is a measure that is useful for measuring shareholder wealth creation done by the company as it considers the inclusion of capital charge using weighted average cost of capital okay. So any profit after the capital charge positive profit after the capital charge indicates the wealth creation for shareholders. Okay. Seems fine. Seems fine. Now, why is it better? Let's mention here. This was not done by traditional profit-based measures. Okay. And any positive accounting profit like gross profit used in the scenario does not confirms that shareholder value has been created. Are you with me, everyone? Yes or no? So what exactly I've done here? What exactly I've done here is I highlighted two distinctive points. In fact, one distinctive point, charge on capital. The key meaning behind This was charge on capital. EVA charges something on capital by the use of WACC, which is useful for wealth creation. This was not, or this is something not done by ordinary traditional measures. Are you with me? Yes or no? Done, everyone? Clear? So I did mention the traditional one because I wanted to mention that this is the difference between these two. Khalas. So is this justification, charge on capital, good enough? My cheat code said justify. So is this point, charge on capital, good enough for the justification? Yes, it is. It is. Okay. I can further add something developing here because valid point gets marked, developing point also gets marked. So when you, to the previous point, when you add something more which explains things in a different direction, that is also counted as a valid point for marks. Okay. So what is that? Profit-based measures encourage managers to accept investments that will increase. Now listen, accounting profits. Yeah, any investment that is increasing the accounting profit, the absolute accounting profit is going up. I'm investing into this, my profit will go up by 2,000, 4,000, 6,000. Okay, that will increase accounting profits, right? Manager will accept it without ensuring that whether such an investment will cover cost of capital. Because for shareholders, what matters? Cost of capital. And this is what EVA is best doing at. Because when EVA covers the cost, investment is worthwhile. Otherwise, it is not worthwhile. Okay? It is not worthwhile. Are you with me? Yes or no? Okay. However, EVA will reject any such investment option if it fails to cover cost of capital. Done. Got it, everyone? Now, what are they emphasizing using here? Gross profit I mentioned earlier as well. Gross profit is good for cost controlling. Are you with me? Please focus right now. Gross profit is good for cost controlling. The current measure, again and again, I'm comparing these two. The current measure of gross profit is good for control purpose. Okay? Like direct production cost. Okay? For example, direct cost of production. And I think somewhere it was mentioned in the objective that their focus is on low cost. So it does supports their objective somehow as well. Okay? Somehow as well. Supporting its objective of keeping cost low. But what is the problem? What is the problem? But it ignores gross profit is before operating expenses. So first, it is ignoring the operating expenses. And second, the cost of financing, the cost of capital is being ignored. But it ignores operating expenses and the charge on capital using cost of finances. That is cost of capital. Okay? So that is why EVA is better. EVA considers all expenditures and investments that contribute shareholders. So now, in contrast to this, EVA is better as it considers all expenses and investments that contribute to shareholder wealth. My friends, this is an 8-mark requirement. It's an 8-mark requirement. Okay? It's an 8-mark requirement. I need to have 8 valid points. So, mentioning about, just giving you an idea, mentioning about EVA, inclusion of cost of capital, awards me a mark. This is just an estimation, okay? Awards me a mark. Comparing this with traditional profits. Comparing this with traditional profits. Okay? Awards me a mark. Then a developing point, adding something which is giving you a different context to the previous one, like impact on investments, awarding me a marks. Valid points. Okay? Multiple valid points you can write in one paragraph. That is not an issue. Done. Then another perspective of gross profit, showing positive signs the use for the gross profit use, giving me marks. but again mentioning that EVA is better because of these things, or what's been other points. So these are the valid points that I'm getting here. Understood? See how I am highlighting is giving you clarity about the valid points. Are you with me? Understanding it? The way it is presented in one paragraph, multiple valid and developing points. All are serving the cheat code. Okay? Done. And where was scenario here? Okay? Let me tell you where is scenario. I'll go back to this exhibit because I want to make a connection. So I was very much focusing on the key performance metric of gross profit. I did use this scenario area to present such an answer. Not coming out of the box. It's scenario that is what I'm using here. Are you with me? Okay. Clear? Please, I need your feedbacks. Okay. Now, another point that I'm using from scenario is of marketing here. Marketing. Board is clear in their mind that marketing expense is a cost and you need to control it whenever needed. But EVA has a different point of view. So let's add another perspective into this. As for current board's perspective for marketing costs to be cost as an expense, which company, it was mentioned here, right? Which company can save when needed. When needed, will affect the company's brand image, which is important for the business. Now, how brand image is important for the business? In this scenario, see here. See, I have a proof for whatever I'm writing. It is mentioned companies operating in the market can gain competitive advantage by developing a strong brand image. How easily the traditional measure of the traditional measures of profits, how easily managers will be discouraged for making investment. Okay? Are you with me? Yes or no? So, traditional profit measures may discourage managers to spend under the head of marketing expense. This is another valid point that will give you marks. Another valid point. That marketing is what they will save. Profit measures will encourage them not to invest and will focus on saving the cost. Okay. Now, if you see the point that I was discussing earlier, this one, where I did mention that the marketing cost perspective of the board is not the correct perspective. Board is considering marketing cost as a cost, something to save whenever needed, but it is not realizing the fact that this is affecting your brand image, which means you will not be able to gain competitive advantage. A valid point. A valid point. The other thing that I added further was the traditional profit measures. So this means all the traditional profit measures will discourage managers to spend under the head of marketing expense. Now, what is the EVA perspective? However, EVA treats marketing expense as a long-term investment, okay, by capitalizing it, as this will help to create why companies' brand image and will provide benefits over several years. See, that's the perspective of EVA. That's the perspective of EVA. So now you can see here in my overall answer, I did came up with the point of charging the cost to the investment, which was not done by the traditional measures. Okay. Because of this, traditional measures encourage investment without the consideration of whether cost is covered or not, which EVA does not. Valid points. Okay. Then gross profit, a key measure that they are thinking is important, which is good, the positive side, but the negative side is it ignores the cost of finances. Whereas EVA is better in handling all sort of expensive investments. Valid points. Then marketing perspective of the board and how traditional measures will consider marketing expense. Valid point. What is the perspective of EVA? Valid point. 8 valid points. And valid point means that will give you marks, and it also includes the developing point as well. So I don't want to be very precise here, but I did give you an idea. I can treat this as a valid point. Okay. I can treat this as a valid point. I can treat EVA consideration as a valid point. Okay. this valid point, this to be valid point, the current thought process of the marketing, which will affect the company's brand image, is a valid point. It's a consequence actually. Traditional measures, treatment of marketing expense, and the EVA perspective, a valid point. So my friends, to sum up then, the cheat code, 8 valid points, including development points, justifying EVA is better than profit based, where a contrast is done. EVA traditional, EVA traditional, EVA traditional. And the scenario was used here like gross profit discussion with EVA, like marketing cost treatment versus EVA treatment, all was covered here. Are you clear, everyone? Say yes or no. Paragraph based, multiple paragraph, valid connections, all discussed. Cheat code worked. Next requirement, employee response to EVA, 15 marks. A very important requirement and a very different requirement. I have seen this in this exam attempt, which was not visible previously. A different way of asking about EVA. Let's see. The proposal to use EVA as a performance measure of company's performance has also been introduced to the entire workforce of UI. It is clear the proposal to use EVA as a main measure has been introduced in front of the employees. That, okay, now this will be our main measure. In the presentation made to the workforce, it was mentioned that current reward system should be changed, okay, to be based in part on EVA. So the reward system will also consider EVA, not completely, but it is clearly mentioned in part. Though the proportion of each department's reward, which is based on EVA, will vary. Proportion will vary, but we will consider EVA as well. So now EVA will be, the proposal is that EVA will be a main measure, plus in reward system as well, EVA will be considered for the reward finalization. Some specific comments from why employees following presentation have been given below. Okay. Comments. Okay, let me look at the requirement here. The company wants to provide an assessment of each of these points. Okay. The SMD wants you to provide an assessment, assess each of these points. She intends to use your response to further convince the board of the need to adopt EVA. So now what is the requirement? The requirement is you need to assess each of these points. So here, each of these points you need to assess. So the verb is to assess, and I have to read each and every point here, okay? So I'll do that. I haven't done it. I just want to give you the clarity that this is the verb and this is the object. 15 marks. Planning. Plan the pointers, okay? Planning. So for planning, I look at the verbs. I know assessment is the verb. I'll assess each point in relation to EVA. So verb is assess. How many points there are? 4 points. 4 points. So these 4 points are 4 headings for me. Okay? 4 headings for me. I'm not writing headings here, but I can just say that 4 points, 4 headings. I'm not writing headings. 4 paragraphs I can say. Okay? So just for your ease, comment 1, comment 2, comment 3, comment 4. A good planning may take 4-5 minutes, 2-3 minutes, but it will save a lot of time ahead. Okay. So comment 1, comment 2, comment 3, comment 4, 15 marks. I may divide it between 4, maybe 5 marks per comment I need to assess. So look at the verb, look at the object. This is step number 3. Headings, if possible, yes. Let's come up with a cheat code. So what's the cheat code? The cheat code here is my own code, okay? My own conversion. Every area in every comment area, I will link with EVA. Okay, link with EVA and respond for approx 4 to 5 marks. Right? 4 to 5 marks, maybe 4 to 5 valid points. Are you with me? Say yes or no. Are you getting what I am doing, what I'm trying to do here again and again? Please confirm here. Is it clear what I'm trying to do here again and again? You need to understand this own cheat code is actually something that will help me to break through the requirement. Okay? So up to 4 to 5 marks per comment. This is something I'm talking to my own self before I start the answer, that this will be my plan. So 4 to 5 valid points. Okay? This is the cheat code that I will come up with, that you guys will come up with before you answer it. Right? Clear? My own plan in my mind. Okay, let's start one by one then. See how easy it becomes. I will not be too much concerned. I'll start with one by one points. First, what does economic value added mean? Okay, I have to respond to this. And how will I know if I am doing is adding or destroying? Now, this is a very different requirement, honestly, from exam perspective. Okay, it's a new way of asking. So this is the first. Now, the employee is saying, what is EVA? What EVA means? Okay. And how will I know that whatever I'm doing, is it adding or destroying the value for shareholders? Okay. So first of all, how you will assess this comment? How you will assess this comment? What EVA is, and whether how individual will get to know whether whatever he or she is doing, is it adding or destroying the value? Okay, guys. What do you think the answer here should be? Any quick ideas? Come on. Before I start and present my view. Yes. Okay. Now, what we'll do here, the first cause, what economic value added mean? So I'll answer this first. Economic value added means value or return generated for the shareholders. Okay. So economic value is a return for the shareholders. If it is more than the cost of WACC, this means Y company has created return for the shareholders. Right? First thing. First, EVA represents the return for shareholders. So if Y company profits, Y company economic profits are covering the cost of capital. So the remaining positive figure is the return generated for shareholders. Okay? Done? Generated for shareholders. So this provides shareholder a clear answer in relation to their wealth creation rather than just reporting accounting profits to them. Halas. 1 to 2 marks I'll grab here by mentioning what economic value means. Okay, economic value means. Done? Economic value. Okay, now the other concern. How will I know my work creates value or not? Very interesting, yeah. Very interesting. I'm assessing this. How individual knows whether his work is adding value or not? Is it easy or difficult? This is difficult. Every individual person contributing towards a EVA, the assessment of this is difficult. This is difficult. Okay? So now I'm responding to this. Any individual contribution in adding or destroying value is difficult to determine, right? It's difficult to determine. Okay? through their daily activities. Because EVA is a collective stuff. It's a collective thing. Okay? So now, how individual will get to know their actions is affecting EVA? One solution to this is what? What is that solution? However, if Y company identifies the main activities which drive the economic value, things that affect value, things that create value, okay? Drivers of value creation, right? In the business. So such value drivers will then be linked easily by employees with their daily activities to clearly see the impact of their activities on value. Now see what it means. Give you some examples like wastage in manufacturing is value creator or value destroyer? Tell me. Wastage in manufacturing is value destroyer. Suppose that my routine activity, if it is creating wastage, so because of this daily routine activity, if I am creating wastage, so it is destroying the value. So if I avoid wastage, if I reduce wastage, if I control wastage in my daily operational activities, so a reduction in a wastage will ultimately, come on, create the value. Okay? So if they want to gauge that my daily activity is affecting value, so for that to happen, it is important to identify value drivers, activities that drive the value. If employee can relate their work with those value drivers, they will get to know either we are helping it or destroying it. Come on. I know this is a different sort of a question. Understanding the perspective. So it is important now to determine value drivers like percentage wastage, like percentage customer complaints. If you are not handling complaints on time, customer will be dissatisfied and hence will not come again, and hence it will affect the business financials and hence the value for shareholders. Getting the point? So these are kind of value drivers: customer retention, customer complaint handling, wastage reduction. These are those things that will either create or destroy the value. So if employee is performing any task relating to these, so should aim to reduce the wastage, should aim to provide better customer service, and hence his act will create the value. Okay? Understood? So two things I've answered here. Number one, hello. Number one, what EVA, what economic value means? The excess you get over the cost is value. Number two, individual contribution is adding or destroying the value, which is difficult to determine, but value drivers, if identified, could be easily linked with the employees' daily activities to give them the answer message that yes, this act of yours, they can see this act of employee is adding or destroying the value. Understood? Everyone say yes or no. Clear? Understood? Yes, this is a different sort of a requirement. You need to understand the technique to handle it. Okay, very nice. So approximately 4 marks I can grab here. What will be the valid points? The explanation of what economic value means is something that will give me a valid mark. Individual contribution, difficult to determine. Mentioning this, difficult to determine, will give me 1 valid mark. Now, developing point, like however, coming up with a point that is mentioning that activities or drivers identified will give a valid point. Then mentioning employees linking those with their daily routine task will give me a valid point. Understanding it? Okay. Comment 2. I don't understand the EVA calculation, which we have been told about, but I am even more unsure how it will actually work in practice. How it will actually work in practice. I'm not sure about it. What I know specifically here is, would it be easy to see what EVA is for each individual product? Okay. Now, employee concern. Let's figure out the concern. What is the concern? I don't understand the EVA calculation and I don't know how it will work. This first part of the concern is a valid concern of so many people, because EVA calculation requires adjustments. EVA calculation is not a normal calculation. It's not a normal accounting calculation. There are so many adjustments you do in EVA. And such adjustments are difficult for people to understand. You need to train them. Even people who are without account, they will totally be out of their minds. Okay? So yes, employees normally are not very, all the employees will not have accounting background. So you need to train them for basic EVA calculation and how employees' activities will contribute to value creation. First concern is valid? Yes. So let's address the first concern. The employees' concern in relation to EVA calculation seems to be a valid one, as EVA requires adjustment and capital charge which may make things complicated compared to ordinary accounting profit calculation. Okay? So the employees may face difficulty, okay, in understanding it, and why company needs to provide training explaining basic EVA calculations and how it will work. Done. So the first concern has been addressed. See, in the concerns also you guys need to be smart enough to determine in concerns that how many concerns there are. You need to be smart enough to determine it. And I've done that. Getting the point, understanding it. Okay. Let's look at the second concern. What I want to know specifically here is, would it be easy to see EVA is for each individual product? What the EVA is for each. Now, he is interested in knowing what will be the EVA for individual product. Have you ever heard about it? Have I taught you EVA for individual product? It was always about the company overall or divisions overall. Product EVA. They are selling gloves. So interesting question. They are selling gloves. And I think it was mentioned in the scenario that, sell wide range of different types of gloves to cater for all ages and taste. So they are selling different range of gloves. So for individual product, there is a wide range of products they are offering in gloves. So every individual product in that range, how can I come up with EVA? Is it easy, difficult? It's difficult. Because for EVA, for individual product, I need to know the details about individual product, the capital that has been allocated to that individual product. So I'm not saying it's impossible, but it's difficult to do it. Okay? And especially when it's new to them, especially when they're adopting it for the first time. Okay? So I will answer. As for calculating EVA for individual products, will be difficult. Okay? Difficult at this initial stage because capital employed will have to be separately allocated to each product. Understood? And also there's a challenge for them that what is the definition of individual product? This is what all they need to figure it out. Okay? YCO also will need to decide as to what constitute as individual product. For example, they are making different range. Okay? For example, different sizes of one style is considered as individual product. See, this is a challenge. This is a definite challenge. So, to be very honest, at this early stage, product level EVA right now is not a wise thing. Yes, once they become too mature in EVA, they are pro in EVA, then they can go with such a thing. So product level EVA should be considered as a long-term objective once YCO has developed a more mature EVA system. Khalas. Now 4 to 5 valid points. 4 to 5 valid points. So starting from the first concern of the employee that they are not sure about it. So yes, it is difficult. Will give you 1 valid point for this mark. Then mentioning training will help them to tackle it will give you 1 more valid point. Got it? Just an estimate. Then EVA for individual product. Mentioning that it is difficult will give you marks. And then mentioning what constitutes as a individual product, the clarity of that is further highlighting the difficulty, can give you 1 mark. Understood? Maybe finalizing, mentioning that it should be a long-term thing, not at the short term, is a value-adding point as well. That for now, no need. Understood, everyone? Say yes or no. Clear? So a very different question, to be very honest. The way they have tested this, beautifully executed. Assessment needs to be done in relation to the concerns of the employees. Got it, everyone? Done? Perfect. All right then. So that's it for today. We will be continuing with this question again, day 2, where I will be completing the requirement plus the professional mark discussion, overall report format discussion will be done in day 2, along with further areas, further question practice of section B. My friends, I hope your first day of webinar, where I did focus on drafting mainly and the technique to decode the requirement, you must have enjoyed it. And the hack of cheat code, come on, please, I need your thumbs up or feedback, emoji based, for cheat code. How was cheat code technique? Please. Maybe you might not like it. I need your honest suggestions. Cheat code is like talking to your own self before you start. Okay, this is what I need to do. This action, what tells you the action? This action I'll perform on this object for using these headings and marks. It's a cheat code. This action I'll perform on this object using these headings for these marks is a cheat code. Liked it, everyone? So I hope the first day went well for all of you. The recordings will be available on Wifi's YouTube channel for sure. Difficult topics. EVA creates trouble for people, honestly. Report question is also somewhere I feel people struggle. and requirements that are confusing for any topic that can create confusion for people. So for me, it's not the topic that is difficult. For me, it's the requirement that is difficult. Like this requirement that we were doing was a different sort of a requirement. Okay. Okay. Let me see what I can do for your EVA calculation stuff. Yeah, Mohammed, this is the right point. EVA classification in terms of cost might be difficult. Yes. Yes, you're right. So yeah, let me think what I can do further for you people. I hope day one went well, guys. Satisfied overall? Was it worth it taking day one? Please share your feedbacks. I will share $1,000,000 questions. I will, and the $1,000,000 article is available on the portal, and it's also available on with APM free resource Google Drive as well. You can contact me. You can message me if you are not able to find it. I'll do something for you. Okay. All right then. Thank you guys. Happy? Quick shade feedbacks. How about diversification, marketing, R&D perspective? Yeah. Again, the classification of cost is enough to mention here. Okay. So, satisfied everyone? Great. See you then. Day two tomorrow with further practice. Stay with me. Take care.